Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone. Hope you're all doing well, inshallah. It's been an interesting week on the Muslim YouTube scene. The trending topics have been men's rights, men's roles, what it means to be a man, the suppression of men, etc. It all started with Mufti Menk posting a video of him knitting. A brother named Gabriel ended up posting a video that went viral. He was frustrated at the image that Mufti Menk was portraying as a man knitting. That resulted in the Revert brother posting a video that wasn't really quite nice, to be honest with you. And some of the things he says were inaccurate. That resulted in that brother getting Ali Dawad, which I'm sure resulted in a lot of backlash from the Muslim community. And then that resulted in other men coming out, backing Gabriel up. Not so much for his approach on the video. I think everybody, even Gabriel, I'm sure, has came out, apologised for his approach. But pretty much everybody's saying that there's basis for the frustration and basis for the talks. So ever since then, there have been videos out on the topics, and they've been really, really interesting, to say the least. Of course, all the people talking about the issues are men, so I thought that I would come on today and give a woman's perspective. The thing I noticed about talking about men's rights specifically is it's such a taboo topic. Like, so many people get triggered. That's not the way it should be. Everybody has a lived experience. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us all rights, every person, men, women, children, elderly, communities, etc. It shouldn't be an issue. Everybody should be able to have their say. Everybody should be able to tell their story. Especially as women, you know, as people who have been fighting for their rights, who are always kind of in defence of our rights, especially Muslim women. If we're not trying to gain our rights in our cultural communities, we are defending our rights to non-Muslim communities. And so therefore we should know better. We should not be a part of oppressing other people's experiences, other people's voices, other people's troubles and problems. We should be protective of that area as well, and we shouldn't allow man-made movements to encourage us to do so. Because ultimately what will happen is we will become a part of the divide, and the divide will keep getting bigger and bigger. There's already, you know, content out there encouraging men to look out for themselves, and it's going to have a massive negative effect on both. And at the end of the day, when it comes to Muslim men and Muslim women, what unites us and what should be a priority for us is the Quran and Sunnah. We should always be going back to that with our issues, because through the guidance, through Islam, our issues, inshallah, will be solved. Prophet ﷺ said that we should want for our brothers what we want for ourselves. Both of us, man and woman, need to listen to each other. We need to commit to each other and the Quran and Sunnah. These issues are not man versus woman. These are issues within the Ummah. We are united when facing these issues, and everybody deserves to have their God-given rights. Both men and women today are heavily flawed. Some women's issues are a result of men, and some men's issues are a result of women. Some women are still fighting for their God-given rights in the world today. More and more men seem to have their rights stripped away from them due to man-made movements. These are all legit fears and concerns that we should all, as an ummah, be talking about. When it comes to liberalism, we don't need it because we are given liberty and freedom through the Quran and Sunnah. When it comes to feminism, we don't need it because Allah gave us our rights through Islam. You as men don't need titles like alpha male. Our Muslim men are not dominant animals. Dominance insinuates a lack of reason and a lack of consideration, that it's their way or the highway type thing. And it's very much a non-Muslim term, to be honest with you. None of them have any place in the Muslim community, and we should all leave them for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There was a lot of great talks around men looking at the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, men looking at the Sahaba, looking at the hobbies and the activities they used to do. that went towards facilitating good physical, mental and spiritual health, which is great. However, I don't feel there was enough talk around looking at the impact that culture has on our communities, the impact of culture in the men of some communities. How do we undo the culture that goes against our Islamic principles? Because at the end of the day, the men are the leaders of our community, and if there's flaws in these areas, if they are not giving women their rights, which is the case in some cultures, then it has a ripple effect in everything else. Women then find comfort in movements like feminism because the community is not giving them it through Islam, which is their God-given right. What I'm saying is we have to look at other issues as well. It's great to look at the activities and the hobbies we can do as men, as women, and how that brings us back to our fitra. But we also need to look at the common social issues that are going on today, and we have to talk about how we're going to undo them. Because for women to say that their rights are still being breached is a legit thing to say. It's still an issue in many different areas, but it also is an issue when it comes to the men, and we should all be able to talk about it and work together in solving these issues. And when it comes to the alpha male title, we should be careful about what we are trying to add to the community. It wasn't already given to us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We should be careful that we're not undermining Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala indirectly. Another thing I want to say is that when it comes to issues fulfilling other people's rights, lack of commitment to the deen is iman issues, and if we have a lack of commitment to the deen, then we have a lack of commitment to each other. We should be looking at our connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. At the end of the day, we all have a part to play in fixing these issues. If we're focusing on ourselves and we're trying to make ourselves better people, then that usually has an impact on the people that we are responsible for, and that has a ripple effect in our communities and wider society. And is that not the goal? Is that not the aim? The way we do that is if we have an element of selflessness and we are trying to fulfill the rights of the people that are around us. We should all be committed to each other. We all each other have. And that is a mercy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. At the end of the day, good men are for good women and good women are for good men. So we should start with ourselves and look at the best of generations and how they lived their lives and try and implement those into our own. We should be increasing our iman, increasing our knowledge of the deen, inshallah, and through that, inshallah, we will be guided. May Allah increase us in character and knowledge and wisdom. May Allah help us unite and commit to each other as both Muslim men and Muslim women. May we get closer to Him through that. Ameen. I'll see you all very soon. Salam. Any mistakes made in this video is a reflection of me and my limitations as a human being, and any good in this video is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, God the Almighty.